Hello everyone, I'm your instructor from my PTE Pro, and today we are tackling one of the most common challenges in the reading section, multiple choice, single answer. Success here isn't just about reading, it's about strategic scanning and identifying the author's subtle cues. Let's break down a complex passage together and sharpen those analytical skills so you can pick the right answer every single time. I hope this breakdown is helping you feel more prepared for your exam. To stay updated with all our latest PTE strategies, be sure to subscribe to my PTE Pro and keep practicing with us. Guerrilla gardening, the act of planting on land without legal permission, has emerged as a defiant response to the sterilization of urban landscapes. Often practiced in neglected lots or median strips, these interventions transform gray infrastructure into vibrant, biodiverse pockets of greenery. This sentence defines the practice as a defiant response to the sterilization of urban landscapes, suggesting it is a reaction against dull, overly controlled city environments. By targeting neglected lots or median strips, these gardeners aim to transform gray infrastructure into something more ecologically rich. Proponents argue that this spontaneous activism reclaims the city for its residents, fostering a sense of community ownership and ecological stewardship. By bypassing the bureaucratic lethality of municipal planning, gardeners can address local needs like food security or heat mitigation with immediate effect. Supporters view this spontaneous activism as a way to promote community ownership, allowing people to take back control of their surroundings. Furthermore, by bypassing the bureaucratic lethality of slow official processes, the movement can deliver an immediate effect for urgent issues like food security. However, municipal authorities frequently view these unauthorized actions as a liability, citing concerns over public safety and underground utility interference. Critics also warn that uncoordinated planting can lead to the introduction of invasive species, which may ultimately destabilize local ecosystems. The text shifts to the perspective of municipal authorities who see these acts as viewed as a liability due to public safety risks. Additionally, the uncoordinated planting is criticized because it might introduce invasive species that could destabilize local ecosystems. Despite these legal and environmental risks, the movement highlights a profound dissatisfaction with the top-down nature of modern urban management. It serves as a reminder that the urban environment is not a static canvas, but a living space that should reflect the needs and aspirations of those who inhabit it. While acknowledging legal and environmental risks, the author notes that the movement reflects a profound dissatisfaction with the top-down nature of management. The city is portrayed as a living space rather than a static canvas, implying it should adapt to the needs and aspirations of its residents. Therefore, the value of guerrilla gardening lies in its ability to spark a dialogue about who truly has the right to shape the future of our cities. The concluding sentence identifies the core value of guerrilla gardening as its power to spark a dialogue. This conversation focuses on the fundamental question of who has the right to shape the urban environment's future. Which statement best reflects the author's overall perspective on guerrilla gardening? This question asks for the overall perspective of the author, requiring an analysis of how the writer balances the benefits and drawbacks mentioned throughout the text. We must determine if the author's tone is purely critical, purely supportive, or a nuanced combination of both. It is a dangerous practice that should be strictly prohibited due to its potential to introduce invasive species and damage infrastructure. Although the passage mentions that critics warn about invasive species and underground utility interference, this choice is too extreme. The author does not argue that the practice strictly prohibited, but rather emphasizes its value in helping spark a dialogue about urban management. Incorrect. While technically problematic, it serves as a meaningful challenge to traditional urban planning and encourages community engagement. This choice accurately captures the author's balanced view by acknowledging the legal and environmental risks which make the practice technically problematic. Simultaneously, it aligns with the idea that the movement reclaims the city and fosters a sense of community ownership. Correct. It is a temporary trend that will likely be abandoned as municipal authorities integrate more greenery into official city designs. The text does not provide evidence to support the claim that this is a temporary trend or that it will likely be abandoned. While the author discusses municipal authorities, there is no mention of them successfully integrating more greenery to end the movement. Incorrect. It is the only effective way to solve the problem of food security in modern cities because municipal planning is inherently flawed. This interpretation is overly broad and absolute because while the text mentions that gardeners can address food security, it never claims this is the only effective way to do so. Furthermore, the passage does not conclude that all municipal planning is inherently flawed. Incorrect. To excel in multiple-choice, single-answer questions, you must learn to distinguish the main idea from specific supporting details. Pay close attention to the author's tone and the use of qualifying words, as these often point toward the most accurate conclusion. TPOL always verify that your chosen option is directly supported by evidence in the text rather than just sounding plausible based on general knowledge.